Mafia's baby boy college romance, Mafia JK, soft possessive, BL, Taekook FF Part 1, first look. The entire college campus glowed under colorful festival lights. Music echoed through every hallway while students rushed around preparing for the annual cultural night. Backstage was chaos. Taehyung, hurry up. Your performance starts in 5 minutes, one of the organizers shouted. Taehyung adjusted the silver chain around his neck nervously. His black oversized shirt slipped slightly off his shoulder, revealing soft skin under the bright dressing room lights. Tonight mattered to him. Not because of the dance competition, but because tonight was the first time he finally felt free. Meanwhile, outside the campus gate, expensive black cars slowly entered the university grounds. Students immediately started whispering. Who's that? Wait, isn't that Jeon Jungkook? The CEO guy? No, they say he's connected to dangerous people. Jungkook stepped out of the car wearing an all-black suit, silver rings decorating his fingers, cold eyes, sharp jawline, dangerous aura. He had been invited as the special chief guest for the event. And honestly, he looked completely uninterested. Until the stage lights suddenly turned purple. Soft music filled the auditorium. And Taehyung appeared. The moment Jungkook looked up, everything around him went silent. Taehyung moved gracefully under the lights, his expressions soft and emotional, eyes shining while the music wrapped around him like a dream. Jungkook couldn't look away. Not even for a second. For the first time in years, his heartbeat felt strange. Possessive. Obsessed. Curious. Taehyung's final spin ended with loud cheers exploding through the auditorium. But before Taehyung could leave the stage, his eyes accidentally met Jungkook's. That gaze. Dark. Intense. Dangerous. Taehyung froze. Jungkook slowly leaned back in his seat, eyes still fixed only on him. Then he smiled slightly. And somehow, that smile felt more terrifying than anger. After the function ended, heavy rain poured outside the campus. Taehyung stood alone near the entrance waiting for a taxi when a black umbrella suddenly appeared above his head. He turned around slowly. Jungkook. Come with me, Jungkook said calmly. Taehyung blinked nervously. What? You'll get sick standing here. I'm fine. I wasn't asking. The deep voice sent chills through Taehyung's body. A few minutes later, Taehyung found himself sitting inside Jungkook's luxury car while rain hit the windows softly. The city lights blurred outside. Silence filled the space between them. Until Jungkook suddenly spoke. You danced beautifully. Taehyung looked down shyly. Thank you. Jungkook's eyes slowly scanned his face. Dangerously gentle. Do you trust strangers that easily, baby boy? Taehyung's breath got stuck. Because somehow, Jungkook already sounded like someone who planned to keep him forever. Stay tonight. Rain continued pouring outside the giant glass windows of Jungkook's penthouse. Taehyung stood awkwardly near the entrance, water dripping slowly from his soft hair while his nervous eyes wandered around the luxurious house. Everything looked expensive. Cold. Lonely. Unlike Jungkook's deep gaze fixed entirely on him. Sit, Jungkook said calmly, removing his black coat. Taehyung slowly sat on the edge of the couch, fingers nervously twisting together. A maid quietly brought warm tea before disappearing again. The house became silent. Too silent. Taehyung carefully looked at Jungkook. Even sitting casually, the man looked dangerous. Tattoos resting under rolled sleeves. Rings glimmering under dim lights. Sharp eyes that never softened. But strangely, Jungkook looked at Taehyung like he was something fragile. Something precious. You're scared of me, Jungkook suddenly said. Taehyung immediately shook his head. But Jungkook smirked slightly. Cute lie. Taehyung's cheeks turned pink instantly. Jungkook slowly walked closer until he stood directly in front of him. Too close. Taehyung could smell expensive perfume mixed with cigarette smoke. His heartbeat became uncontrollable. "You kept looking at me during the performance," Jungkook whispered softly. Taehyung's eyes widened. I didn't." "You did." Jungkook bent down slightly, their faces inches apart now. "And I liked it." Taehyung forgot how to breathe. The tension between them felt dangerous. Warm. Addictive. Outside, thunder echoed loudly, making Taehyung flinch slightly. Without thinking, Jungkook gently held his wrist. "It's okay." That soft voice surprised Taehyung more than anything else. Because nobody would believe a man like Jeon Jungkook could sound this gentle. Jungkook slowly noticed Taehyung shivering from the cold rain. His expression darkened immediately. "You're freezing." Before Taehyung could react, Jungkook removed his own oversized hoodie and carefully placed it over Taehyung's shoulders. The sleeves were too long. The scent of Jungkook surrounded him instantly. Taehyung looked impossibly small inside the black hoodie. Jungkook stared for a few seconds too long. "Dangerous," he muttered under his breath. "Hmm? Nothing, baby boy." Taehyung's ears turned red hearing the nickname again. Jungkook sat beside him slowly. Close enough for their knees to touch. Neither moved away. The rain outside became softer. And somehow, the space between them disappeared too. Taehyung looked down shyly. "Why are you being nice to me?" For the first time that night, Jungkook went quiet. Then he lifted Taehyung's chin gently with 2 fingers. His dark eyes softened slightly. "Because the moment I saw you dance, I knew I wouldn't be able to stay away from you." Taehyung's breath trembled. And Jungkook smiled faintly before whispering, "So stay tonight." Mine. The penthouse was quiet except for the soft sound of rain tapping against the windows. Taehyung sat nervously on Jungkook's large bed, fingers tightly holding the sleeves of the oversized hoodie. Everything felt unreal. Just a few hours ago, he had been dancing on a college stage. Now, he was inside the home of the most dangerous man in the city. And somehow, that man couldn't stop looking at him. Jungkook loosened the buttons of his black shirt slightly before walking toward the bed. Taehyung's heartbeat immediately became faster. "Relax," Jungkook said softly. Easy for him to say. Taehyung tried looking anywhere except Jungkook's eyes because every single time they met, his stomach filled with butterflies. Jungkook noticed instantly. A small smirk appeared on his lips. "So shy." "I'm not shy." Taehyung pouted slightly, making Jungkook laugh quietly for the first time that night. That sound surprised Taehyung. Warm. Real. Not cold like the rumors people said about him. Jungkook slowly sat beside Taehyung again. Close. Too close. The mattress tipped softly under his weight. "You trust me already?" Jungkook asked quietly. Taehyung looked down for a moment before whispering, "I think so." Those 3 words changed something inside Jungkook immediately. His gaze darkened possessively. Dangerously soft. He reached out slowly and brushed wet strands of hair away from Taehyung's forehead with unbelievable gentleness. "You shouldn't trust dangerous men so easily, baby boy." "But you haven't hurt me." Jungkook froze. Because Taehyung said it so innocently. So honestly. And maybe that was exactly why Jungkook felt himself losing control around him. The mafia world had made Jungkook cruel, cold, violent. But Taehyung looked at him like he was still human. And that terrified him. Without realizing it, Taehyung leaned slightly closer. Their faces became inches apart. The air suddenly felt heavy. Warm. Jungkook's eyes slowly dropped to Taehyung's lips. "Taehyung," he whispered deeply. Taehyung's breath shook softly. Neither moved away. Not even a little. Then, Jungkook gently placed his hand against Taehyung's cheek. "Careful. Like touching something precious." "If I kiss you now," Jungkook murmured, eyes locked on his, "I won't be able to stop." Taehyung's cheeks turned red instantly. But instead of moving away, he slowly held Jungkook's wrist. And whispered shyly, "Then don't stop." That was all Jungkook needed. He pulled Taehyung closer carefully before pressing a soft kiss against his lips. Slow, gentle, addictive. Taehyung melted instantly into the warmth, fingers gripping Jungkook's shirt tightly. The kiss deepened little by little, filled with tension that had been building since the moment their eyes met in the auditorium. When Jungkook finally pulled away, both of them were breathless, foreheads touching softly. Jungkook stared at him for a long moment before speaking quietly. "You're mine now." And strangely, Taehyung didn't want to disagree. To be continued. Part 2.